All right, so this is update 3.93. Let's go back a little bit here. And we're going to talk about some of the specific features of this particular update, but and this is a pretty lengthy one to go through. But like I said, I'm going to call out my key features that I thought were very interesting. Which, like I said, again, may be different from yours. So if you prioritize some features, let me know. Or if you prioritize some of these updates that I'm not talking about, let me know. So the Viwoods. My observations off the rip is basically like I really do like what they're doing to the UI. So the UI is changing and evolving as they do updates, and they change little things here and there with the UI, whether it be cosmetic, whether it be adding some functionality or shortcut to this, which the airplane mode is an added shortcut that we have now. But they're definitely making strides in the UI. Like, I'm really liking how their UI is coming along. And to me, that was one of the sticking points. I don't know if you guys remember when I first got this device and was talking about it, I hated the UI. I did not like how the UI looked. I did not think it was very like cohesive, and it wasn't very unique. It seemed way busier than it needed to be. This shortcut menu helps that. Them changing the look of their AI has helped that. So I really do appreciate how they've gone about working with this device. They're always improving it, and I really do like that. I mean, that's all you can ask, right? And people forget. If Viwoods wasn't here, just a year ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't a thing. So for them to have come this far from where they were when they first released the device is pretty impressive. And I say that all the time, but it definitely is pretty impressive. But these are the things that I like about the update. So we got customizable home screen. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Actually, we're not even going to mince around here. We're going to go right to the meat and potatoes here. So we got customized home screen. So if you long press on the home screen, you get this option right here to where you can customize the home screen. So you can customize it, but the customization is very limited, right? But I love the fact that they're giving you options, and I can see them expanding this later, right? This is iterative, but very big moves here. So obviously you got the default. I moved mine to the minimal mode. Which basically, if you put it on, well, let's look at the normal mode. So normal mode basically is what you normally see, right? Actually, normal mode is better for me now. Is this normal mode? Oh, that's minimal mode. Okay, so continue. Okay, here we go. So this is normal mode. Too busy for me. I've never liked this. I've always thought it was like, what? I can't do it. So what happened was, I go to, and I just think it's too busy. I just didn't like how it was sectioned off, and I didn't like how it was like tiles, or widgets, but not really dynamic. That was another problem. I'm like, if you're gonna have widgets, make it be dynamic. But that's a whole nother gripe. I didn't like the busy nature of this right here. It was just too much going on. But if you go to the minimal mode, this, like, holy cow, night and day to me. I was like, wow, this is how it should be. This is great. Just 3 widgets here, bigger so I can see more of what it is I want to see. I love it. I really do like it. And this just simplifies that. It makes it into 3 tiles here, and that's awesome. The next one is a combination mode. I couldn't figure out. Oh, I guess what it is it gives you the 3 sections, but the last section has 2 things, so it's divided up into 2 widgets. I still prefer the simplified version, the minimal version here. But anyway, those are the options you have for the home screen. The next thing I thought was very interesting on here was the lasso. Now, they brought this up on the change log here. So let's take a look at the change log. When I saw that, I'm thinking optimized event creation using the lasso tool. I'm thinking it works like what the Supernote does. And if you were to circle something like, so if I were to select Hello World, I get an option to where I can add it as a new event into the calendar, right? Straight from the Notepad app. And I thought, okay, fine. Viwoods is adding that kind of functionality to their device now. But that's not what's happening here. Because when I went to the note that I created here, and I went to select something, let's just say get gas. I don't get an option here to create an event. So I don't know what they meant by that, but I put it on my list because that's what I thought they meant. So if you guys know what they meant by that whole thing, let me know, because I have no clue. But yeah, so moving on to the next thing I got here. So moving on to the learning app, they added remarkable style, undo, and redo. And this also applies to the mailbox. But it also applies to the Pages app too. I don't know why they had it just under the learning app on the changelog, but whatever. Let's take a look. So basically, undo, redo. So if I were to write here, whoops. Okay, let's go back to the pen. So if I were to write hello world here and I wanted to undo, I could double tap. And it would eventually take hold. You see how it's not really, it works. It's just not very responsive. Not as responsive as the remarkable is. Let's take a look at how that works on the remarkable or the remove here. So if I wanted to undo, you see how it's responsive, right? Oops, you can't see my finger. Let's go back. So you see how responsive it is, right? Like that wasn't like, and you don't have to double tap either. It's just a single tap. It's just super responsive. And the 2-finger tap or a 3-finger tap brings it back. So it's super responsive. I like how it works. The Viwoods is like that, but you have to double tap, not single tap. So we are on the Viwoods again. We're double tapping. Okay, yeah, so just not as responsive, but it works, okay? The new event creation is available under Notes, Paper, and Meetings in the AI section. Lasso, select AI, then create event. Thanks, Sparky Man, I appreciate that. The event creation is available under Notes, Paper, and Meetings in the AI section. Lasso, select AI, then create event. Oh, thank you. So let's try that again. Let's lasso select get gas. And we'll go to AI. Create event. Oh, gotcha. So it does work. That's what's up. Sparky Man, you saved the day, bruh. I appreciate you. I really appreciate that. That's what's up. Also, look under settings, pin, gestures, quick gestures for some button settings. Yeah, I'm going to show that too. I noticed that in the change log. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's see, this is killer. See, this is all right. I like this. This is what I want. And this is great. It's weird that it's under AI, right? I feel like that should be something that should be pulled out of that AI menu and just added to the shortcut menu. Like, just create event. You know what I'm saying? Like, why does that have to be an AI thing? But whatever, dude. To me, my thought is, don't have it in the menu if it doesn't need to be a menu. You know what I'm saying? And that could have just been in the shortcut menu. That's just my 2 cents, though. I love that, though. Paper. So the next thing we have is the Paper app where we can insert images. And I show that right here. And I basically just took a screenshot of another note and I input it into this particular note that I have right here. So this is just this is an image right here. Can we write over the image? We can. Can we get rid of that writing over the image? Oh boy, if this is more responsive, it could be good. Okay, what the? All right, let's just undo. There we go. It could use work. But the fact that they have it there, it means that they can improve on it and make it better over time. So I love that. Single page duplication is another thing we have here. So let's go to Pages view, and we can just long press single page, copy, duplicate, and then you can move that wherever you want. So hitting the copy, it makes a duplicate for you, and then you can do whatever you want with that. So bam, I like that. What else we got here? We have manually edit default dates and headers. I couldn't figure out that. Manually edit default dates and headers. Sparking Man, what you got? Walk me through this. I know you know. I know you know. Tap date in the upper right in a note. Okay, so wait, am I not in notes now? Is this not a note? Wait, see, this is why I don't like the fragmentation. And what are we doing? Tap the date in the upper right corner. Okay, yeah, this is definitely not what he was talking about here. I feel like I'm pretty tech savvy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I can figure things out. If you give me something, I'll figure it out. But why should it be hard? All right, so I'm in paper. I'm at the top right. At the top right. I don't see a date over here. All right, you know what? It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that hard to figure that out. Really, honestly, it shouldn't be that. This is like how Onyx has their table of contents like in a menu for long tapping. Why isn't it in the menu with all the other tools for organization? Let's move on to the pen. Button configurations. Within 1 centimeter. Let's actually look at that real quick. So they have some button configurations for the pen. But let's take a look at what that actually means here. So I really like how they did this. I really do like how they did this. So they give you options here. The first thing I like that they've done is they've given you options for their default pen. You get more options, but then they give you options for a pen like mine that's not their default pen. That's, you know, the Lamy I like with the crystal nib. Speaking of crystal nib, check out the store, ransaboutech.com. If you like ceramic nibs, we have the Supernote ceramic over there that you can put in almost any standard EMR pen. Check it out, ransaboutech.com. Okay, moving on. But the point is they give you options for a third-party pen. Awesome. Another thing I like that they do, and this is the coolest part. Look at this. Can we zoom down here so we can see this? Now, this is another thing I like that they've done. Really cool thing that they've done here. So you can have different functionality for your pen based on its distance from the screen. So if your pen is over 1 centimeter from the screen and you hit your button on your pen, it's just gonna erase. So if I raise my pen up here, hit the button, and then go down, it's going to erase. Now, if I'm writing and I just hold the pen, the functionality is going to be different. So if your pen is within 1 centimeter from the screen, then the button functionality is something different. I love that. That reminds me of the Supernote functionality here, where on the Supernote, they do the same thing, except it's a double tap. So if you hold your button down, you can customize it to be a select. So I have mine customized to be a select. But if I double tap the button, and hold it, so you got double tap and hold. No, you don't. You don't have to hold it. You just double tap. It becomes a stroke erase. Well, it was a stroke erase. There we go. It becomes a stroke erase if you double tap it. Now, that's kind of the same thing they're doing here on the Viwoods, except that you don't have to double tap, which I think is way better, because double tapping can be finicky, right? I mean, if you try to double tap your button, you may not hit it exactly right. And as you can see there, I had some problems with initiating that stroke erase. But if it was as simple as me raising it to a different height and pushing the button and getting a different response from the button, that's awesome. That's like multi-functionality to your button. It's like having a second button, essentially. Let's go back to see if we can get that date and heading together. So top right corner of this is my paper app, you guys. At the top right corner of my paper app, I don't have a date right here. Am I missing something? Like, is my paper app different from other people's? What's going on? Like, I don't see a date or a header anywhere here. You guys let me know what I'm missing. Date and time is on the first page. What the? What? What? Chat. Why? Okay, I have a problem with that. The first problem I have with that is assuming that I only want to know this information. I'm always going to be on the first page. What are we doing? What? That should be on every page. That's so silly. I didn't even know that was there. And that is because it's only on the first page. What are we? That should be all right. I literally, when I was writing on this earlier, I was writing on this, doing some writing samples. These writing samples right here, I was doing those earlier, and I'm like, you know what? I want to see how good the new pens look, because they said they improved the strokes and all of that, and I do believe that. I do believe they've definitely made it better, and it looks a lot better. Strokes happen more naturally, and look cleaner, 100%. But I was looking at this page when I was writing this, thinking to myself, one of the problems I have with this platform is that you don't. Let me back up a little bit. One of the problems I have with this platform is that you don't know what the name of your note is. All right, case in point, we got the super note here. No matter what page I'm on, I know what note I'm on. I know what page I'm on. Like, oh my, they need that. You should never not know what note you're in. Like, as if to say my memory is that good. And to say, oh, you have to go back to the first page to see what note you're in. Viwoods changed that. Every page should have that information on it. So the improved handwriting is real. It is definitely way more improved than what it used to be. I can't tell you. Leaps and bounds above what it used to be. Now, their calligraphy pen still can't touch Remarkables, okay? So this is their calligraphy pen. It's gotten better. Let's get down here a little more. Their calligraphy pen has gotten a lot better, but it's still not touching the Remarkables calligraphy pen. And let's take a look at Remarkables calligraphy pen by comparison here. This is the best calligraphy in the game right here. You see the difference? You see what I'm saying? Like, holy, like, this is like rounded where it needs to be rounded. None of the edges are rounded here, which makes it look a little sharp, more sharp than it should be. I think this is a way better representation of calligraphy, but that's just my personal take. Their fountain pen is on point. Let's get down here. Can we get closer to this fountain pen? Oh my goodness, chat. I didn't even know we could get that close. I had no idea. That's the calligraphy for the AI paper, and this is the calligraphy for Remarkable. AI paper, Remarkable. I mean, the Remarkable is a little darker. I mean, I didn't check the line thickness, but I'm just talking about the way that it writes it. This looks beautiful. That's okay. That's cool, but it ain't beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It ain't beautiful. We got fountain pen right here. The fountain pen to me looks good because, well, I don't know. Never mind. Not the fountain pen. The ballpoint pen. There we go. The ballpoint pen. They nailed it. The little intricacies, like what happens at the top of the lines right here, they nailed that. The little ball that's at the tip right there of the me finishing the W, they nailed that. They do a really good job. Fine liner, I don't like none of the fine liners in any of the markers here, so whatever. Pencil, killed it. They have the best pencil that's not Remarkable. Their pencil is better than Supernote pencil, period. You can argue me about that all day, and that's debatable. But to me, this is better than Supernote pencil. It's better than Onyx's pencil. It ain't better than Remarkable's pencil. But this is the best pencil in the game that's not Remarkable, period. And this Thinker's marker, I like. I don't know why I like it. It looks like a brush, but I like it. I don't know why, but I do. I much prefer the calligraphy options we have nowadays. It has been long enough to get there. Yes. They've taken a long time to get there. I really do like what they've done, eInk, for sure. It's come a long way. A long way. Not just the calligraphy, just their strokes, period. Their handwriting, period, has come a long way. I really like what they're doing. Like if they're moving at this pace, can you imagine where they're going to be in another year? Like, I want to say it took Remarkable a number of years to get their stuff together with like updates and making things usable from the first Remarkable. Like they're making strides, man. And in another year, I can see them having all of this worked out and them working on pushing the boundaries of eInk at that point. Give them another year to work out all the kinks and innovate in areas that bring them in line with other eInk tablet makers. Dude, after that, the sky's the limit for them. So let's check out the search feature here. Global search feature, I guess, is what they were talking about here. All paper, meetings, learning, picking, memo. So did they just improve it? Because it doesn't look like anything different here. So maybe they just made it better. So maybe they just improved how the search works.